I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're going to get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans, I stand with my boy Green Bean. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team, the playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!
Rumble we shall. What's up, Chaos? How are you doing tonight?
Is it weird that I've become numb to watching myself? Like it doesn't even like I don't even think about it. I just see me. Oh, there I am. Look at that fat freaking bald fool screaming and yelling into a microphone like anybody wants to hear what he has to say.
No, it's not weird. Honestly, I don't mind it until I go like the next day and try to listen to my voice, and then I can't do it, man. I can't do it. The voice is what gets me every time, man.
I loved your voice.
Yeah.
Come visit me in Oregon. Hazel and I will cook a dinner for you.
Robot in the danger zone. Danger, Will Robinson.
I love that. Danger. Okay. Will Robinson. Do you remember Tron? KKKKKK.
Tron, man, that's what 80s.
Yeah, that's definitely 80s.
Yeah.
Way back when the original Tron.
So we have a little something different tonight. I don't know how much these people know, probably a hell of a lot, but we're gonna act like they don't. They're already chopping it up down there. 18 of them I see. Killing it. I will get to you shortly. But tonight, Chaos, we're doing something for the first time ever. Can you tell them what?
The first time we're just going to start off the show with a guest. Like we're just going to have a guest. We normally don't do that. It's normally the two of us. But this is a special week. We're opening up training camp. There's also going to be a return on Wednesday of a show. And, sometimes like a band gets back together and they have to have some warm up and they have to get kind of a feel for each other again. We got a small taste of it on Friday, and we got to get a little bit more taste before the big reunion on Wednesday.
Correct, indeed. And if you didn't catch it by that, we will have Matt O'Leary on tonight. Not right off the bat. He needs probably, I think, 5 more minutes or so. So we are, we're warming up our vocals, so to speak, before he gets in here. But first time again, like you said. Well, I mean, it's traditionally like 60, maybe 90-minute show most of the time. You add a guest to that, we end up not saying much, so but Matt's the perfect guy to have on first because like he's not the type that'll just hog the mic or anything, very back and like I love you guys together because you both riff and you know when to ramp up and when to hit the brake for each other.
But what about the behind the scenes thing that you get to see, Dana? Like when I send you and share with you that these videos that people have no idea that I make these videos that I film that I send to O'Leary, basically since he got married. That when I go out to ranches around here in California, we go to Jackson and I'm walking in a ranch and I film it with me like yelling and screaming, the O'Leary clan would be claiming this land. And I do all this weird shit that I send to O'Leary. And I think I sent it to you just to show you this. And I'm thinking, what if people actually saw those videos that I send to O'Leary? This poor guy gets sent these videos of me screaming in a bad Irish accent about this land that I'm claiming for the O'Leary clan.
Well, hey, I will say he doesn't mind it too much. He just re-upped for another season, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a good sign.
I said, last week I said them from the beach. I said, the O'Leary clan, their land is never far from water. They are smart because they know it's important to have a port for trades. And I'm like showing the waves. The O'Leary clan will have a division of the army dedicated to the navy and protecting these shores.
360 degrees, baby. I would imagine, if there was an O'Leary clan, what do you think it's safe to say that the odds are that they are 100% ginger, kind of like the Weasleys?
Well, every once in a while, a mom's recessive gene will kick in, and they'll be like this black-haired Italian-looking, O'Leary that just doesn't fit in and kind of gets, spit on and bullied as a kid. And then those are the ones that turn out to be like the troublemakers as adults because they have a lot of anger in them and they get revenge and everything and that kind of stuff. Like they say, screw these Reubens, and they throw these corned beef sandwiches, and they replace dinner with chicken cutlet parmesan without asking anybody what they think.
Yeah, and they gobble up gluten.
Yeah, they gobble up gluten. It's because they're angry at their father.
Oh shit! Check out this guy. He says, "Let's go." I think that's probably because I was late.
No, that was me pumping up I was just trying to pump up the chat. That's all. Just trying to pump up the chat.
I love it. I love it, man. Jake says, I too would like to stop sucking and win for once. I think this is in response to the intro where you listen up, Jet fans.
And you listen good. The 2026/27 season, the New York Jets are going to make the playoffs, and you heard it here from JetsChaos.
The slash is the best part for me. Hilarious, man. Again, guest has arrived as handsome as always. Let me give him 30 seconds to get situated. I just want to say hello to Jake and Harry in the chat, E-Boogie, Pagan Artie, anyone you see Chaos too at the bottom. Let me know.
I see Yeti out there in Arizona, not far, from the Tucson area where I was in March. I can't believe how long ago that I realized that is March. It feels like I was there a few weeks ago. It doesn't feel. It's freaking gonna be August. I was there in March.
Dude, I know. Like we were a 3-win team in March, and now we're a 9-win team. It's crazy how time flies.
It's crazy.
Nicely, Luker. Praise God. Welcome, brother. Sunday and all. Good to see you. Making time for the Danger Zone. Tony Alexio, JT. Let's see who else we got. All right, the man of the night we have. That's what we got, right?
Oh, do you want to, what do you want? Are you hinting I should give him some kind of intro or something?
You know what? Do I need? Let me get drumsticks. We can kind of.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gluten-free Irish soda bread eating, the first person to know it's raining, the Long Island professor that might walk into your classroom and say, "Good evening, everyone." Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest YouTube content provider in the world, Matt O'Leary.
Fellas, what an intro. Oh my God, I love it. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Thank you. I worked on that all night.
That was great. What a way to start.
Matt, how's it going, man? I know you're a busy fella. Let me just start off by thanking you first off, because you show love every couple months here, with or without chaos. So that's not the hook, clearly. Appreciate you. Actually, chaos in the zone, in the danger zone, every Sunday. This is like episode 33. Never invited a guest. We wanted to do our first. I thought of you, man. This guy, you thought of Green Bean, but I said no. Now, actually, I maybe I should have. I feel bad. Hopefully, he doesn't hate me now. But yeah, you came to mind first, Matt, and I appreciate you showing up. Literally, like, would you call it the eve of training camp? Would you call it day one?
Yeah, I think we're still technically Eve, right? Until there's practices, which is Wednesday first practice. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, the rookies in the building. We got some news on some injuries. It's starting to feel real here, fellas. I'm excited.
I love it, man. We're so close. I mean, the rookies are there. They're probably working on some stuff. They're probably like learning plays and be getting all kinds of lectures from the coaches of how to be professional and what to expect. And it's exciting. So I wish I could like just participate in that, like kind of like be invited to pretend I'm one of them and just be walking around and getting, the playbook and sitting in the meetings and going, of course, into the eating area or cafeteria area and probably participating in the buffet, and it'd be so much fun.
I hear the facilities are being upgraded as well, so maybe that food will get even better. But Matt, I don't know. We could start a million ways. You know what? I have a couple things from the chat already. Why don't we get warmed up with some of those, and then we'll get into some other stuff. Let's see. First off, we have Jake, member for 9 months. Hell yeah. Humans are created in that amount of time. So shout out to you, Jake. Glad Cavill got casted for Highlander, not Jeremy.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not the best Scottish accents, but I was trying to do an Irish one. Oh, laddie, an Irish accent. I tried to put the margarine and the marmalade on the bread.
My favorite videos are the ones that, like, usually, I don't know, once a month, Chaos will send me a video of something in an Irish accent, like just like scanning.
Well, I was telling them about it, about
Yeah,
I was telling them, I'm like finding land for you for your future clan.
Yeah, it's great. And those are my favorite videos that I get.
Those are your favorite.
In fact, you just confirmed his story about that right before you arrived, and I think we were all sure he was not telling the truth, and then you just confirmed it. These videos exist.
They do. I'm gonna release them. I was just gonna start tweeting them out anytime I get them now, so we can put Jeremy on blast.
Does Miss O'Leary think they're funny?
She does. She's all in. She was even on your bit for the Bailey sacks, the shot of Bailey's.
Oh, she loved that. I know.
Yeah, she is all in on that. So I always tell Taylor the latest Jeremy bits that he has.
Don't tell her that when I talk about Bailey's Irish Cream and I'm going to be doing shots of it, I'm going to be drinking the Kirkland brand's Irish Cream. Like it tastes just like Bailey's because it's half the price.
That tracks. Hey, look, it tastes just about the same. It's like, what is it? I think the Kirkland vodka is made in the same distillery as like Tito's, I'm pretty sure, which is obviously
the American one tastes right at that level, and in all honesty, and the French one that's like $5 more, whatever, it tastes exactly like Grey Goose.
Yeah, so you're doing something right. I got no shame in that.
Yeah.
Got another one here from eBoogie, $5. Hell yeah, eBoogie, my man. Actually, one of our newest member of the fantasy league, so appreciate you, eBoogie. He says, "Who is your favorite player in the NFL you wish the Jets can possibly get by trade or sign? Example, mine is Creed Humphrey." Do any players come to mind to either of you guys?
I mean, he's nailing that for me. I mean, if he was available, I would love Creed Humphrey.
Yeah,
give me Creed Humphrey all day long.
That was a fan favorite of ours in the in that draft season. I remember talking a lot of Creed Humphrey. It's hard for me not to go immediately to quarterback and just pick like whoever your favorite young quarterback in the league is and just put them on this roster. And that really feels like a cop-out answer. But until the Jets have their guy, it's hard for me to come up with any other one, right? And you could, whoever, even if you want to go Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, not that they're that young anymore, but you know what I mean.
Is it too soon to say Jermaine? Yeah, too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
I got his jersey and everything, man. It's so sad. It's my white jersey for our Whiteout Friday. Like the only white jersey I have that fits me really well is my Jermaine Johnson jersey.
It's sad. It's sad, but hey, we're in a better place. We can say that. I think. I don't know. We'll find out, right? All right. Artie and Peg and Artie. What do the rookies do coming to camp a few days early? Matt, do you know what they're doing tonight, tomorrow?
Well, part of it is the medical stuff, which we found out some info on a few different players. Not that they were all rookies, but like T'Vondre Sweat, obviously Tyler Barron we found out about, but I can't really give you a ton. I don't really know what they're doing. I don't think it's anything in an official capacity. My best guess, who's kind of just getting, acclimated.
Uh-oh.
Did he get the green bean Starlink?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's so interesting because this is what he does for a living. Poor guy.
Maybe we're in the danger zone and he's still alive. I don't know, but you know what? Let's give him a moment. You know what? I'll boot him because I think he's gonna need.
Maybe he replaced the Starlink with Kirkland's.
Speaking of Kirkland, here's one for you, Jeremy. Jake, $2 super chat. Buying anything Kirkland is a steal.
I think that I think that Costco does a great job. I do. Most of their things are just completely 100% makes 100% in the world. And the things that they don't do, they sell the actual brand. Like when we get ketchup, they have Heinz. Like the things they don't do, they don't try to do. But and then when they're able to sign deals, I think they're just rebranding. They are going to the manufacturer, the production plant. they're cutting some kind of deal and they're rebranding. That's exactly what's happening. And a lot of their products are really good. I have no shame in saying it.
I don't know what just happened. If that my internet dropped or what, that was very bizarre. Sorry about that, fellas.
Thank you, Jake. Anything Kirkland is a steal. Jeremy agrees. Matt, you're fine. You're fine. It's a kind of, hey, it's the danger zone. You got to expect some weird shit to happen, right? All right, let's get into it a little bit. So, coming into this show, I had a vision like you guys do your reality check every Wednesday, right? 3 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Which is awesome because it's noon here and I'm typically on lunch. I love it. Thank you. Don't change that ever. Reality check though. There's a lot of takes this off season that I've heard that I feel like could use a reality check, or maybe the people do, or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you guys will agree with some of these takes. But I have a little list. I'll pick the best of because there's a lot here. What I'd like to do, though, is pitch one of these takes that I think I or maybe all of us have heard this offseason. And could you guys possibly, and I haven't asked Jeremy this ahead of time, so both let me know, could you give it maybe a reality check spin where, the take gets thrown out and you either, you smack the person, you shake them to wake them up, this is ridiculous, or you say, hey, man, I actually can see where that guy's coming from. This, he's spitting some truth. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Love it. It. I'm going to do this. Now I feel, wait. Now all is right in the world. All right. I thought about putting on different costumes and calling in as a different person with each one of these takes. We don't have the time, but that would have been fun. Okay, here's a good one. Without a doubt, the Jets are on track to start the season 2-0. They're not just going to beat the Titans. That's easy. Look at it on paper. Way better than that Titans team. They have our throwaway coach. Then they're going to go to Green Bay without Micah Parsons. They're going to knock them dead too. Thoughts?
Ooh, okay, I'll start this one. Can they get to 2-0? I think there's a world where it happens. Sure. I agree. I think the Jets are a better roster than the Titans are, and I understand that it's a road game and the Titans are going to be favored in that game, but that's one that I think the Jets should win if we're to believe that they are taking a step forward and are a better football team than what they were a year ago. I think to me, Green Bay would still feel like a pretty big upset, even though it's a home opener. And yes, no Micah Parsons, maybe no Josh Jacobs either, potentially, which would be really big for them in this game. But I just look at where Green Bay has been for so long. They are just like a perennial playoff contender. They're a team that pretty much no matter what the situation is, you could pencil them in for 10 wins. And the Jets, they haven't proven that anything to me yet. I think they got to prove it first. And if they go out and win in week 1, I know we'll be in the parking lot. Me and Jeremy will be talking about with hundreds of people in the lot how they're going to win this game and get to 2-0. And like I said, is there a chance they can do that? Yes, but I don't think I can go in that confident when this team hasn't proven anything yet to me.
Jeremy, what do you think? Do the people spouting that deserve some empathy from you, or do they need a good shaking?
I think they need a reality check. Look, can we? Absolutely 100% can. Can is very different than, oh yeah, we're going to win the first 2 games and that's easy, right? Nothing is easy. No wins are easy. And I don't want to ever quote Salah, but if he was right about one thing, is wins in the NFL are rarely easy. I mean, maybe if you're the Chiefs or, Seattle and you're playing a really weak team, you get an easy win. But, this game against Tennessee, who are we for anything to be easy. I think we're more talented, but we're on their field. Let's look at the odd makers. Look at Vegas. It's going to be a 50-50 game. That should tell you something when you take away the emotion of being a Jets fan, right? Like what is the world saying as far as the betting where they're putting their money? And then going into even coming home to play Green Bay, we're an underdog for sure. I mean, do we have a chance to win that game? Yes. Should we be confident we're going to win that game? I don't know how. Based on what? Right? Like there's nothing to base it on. So I would say reality check. Let's hope as Jet fans, let's get together and hope and think positive that we can. And I hope so, because a fifth loss in a row, 5 years in a row, flying across the country to see a game with that guy you see in front of you right here next to me, Matt O'Leary, and Greenbean and all those guys, to have to watch them lose a fifth time in a row, 5 years in a row, would really, really just, it might put me over the edge. So can they? Man, I sure hope so.
I like it. Next up, we have Garrett Wilson, and thank you, Scott, Murph, Hazel, couple others all submitted some of these. So shout out to them. Garrett Wilson is generational.
I love Garrett Wilson, and I don't want to have to be put in a position to talk down on Garrett Wilson, but I think I'm going to have to do that right now. Generational, for my issue really is more so with the word generational, because I think it gets thrown around way too often. Garrett Wilson is a very, very, very damn good football player, and he is one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. However, I don't think I could say in good faith that Garrett Wilson is a generational player. When I think generational wide receiver in today's game, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, probably end of list. It's like the top of the top of the top. And like I said, I love Garrett. I think he's awesome. I don't think it's fair to put that tag on him.
He's muted, but I will assume he's asking me to talk. Look, he's by definition, he's not generational. I love G5, and I hate calling him G5. I love Garrett Wilson. And I think that he could be statistically much better, and I think that he's had a really rough situation in his career. But that is just speculation. Me saying I think he could have 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns in the right situation is speculation. I might believe it, but I can't go out and then say, we can't, based on what we've seen, say he's generational. He is a phenomenal player. I love him. I've watched like the catches he makes. He's an excellent football player. Is there hope that he could finish his career really strong and do some really special things? Yes, I do. I believe that. I believe that he has a lot of time left. He's still young, and I see that in him, that he could be really great. And I think he is one of maybe the best since Toon and Wesley Walker, and Wayne Corbett. You go Al Toon, Wesley Walker, Al Toon, Wayne Corbett, the guy from the 60s that I'm forgetting his name at the moment. Maynard, right? You got Maynard, then you go Wesley Walker, then you go Al Toon, then you go Wayne Corbett. When you talk about career, I'm not talking about like Keyshawn Johnson, who left, or the guys we picked up like Decker and Marshall. I love Lavernius Calls, but I would say, Garrett Wilson belongs, as far as Jet history, and with Al Toon, Wesley Walker, Corbett. Like, I think he's on that path. And he's a phenomenal player and a true WR1, and I love him, and I'm glad we have him, but I can't call him generational.
No, not when your career high 7 touchdowns, right? Like the guys Matt mentioned, double. I mean, routinely double. But I mean, Chaos, you're right. He could possibly make the Ring of Honor and still not change your answer. Not generational. It's just good for us, Okay. The next offensive mad scientist coming up the ranks is a Jet, Seth Ryan.
I kind of buy that one a little bit. I like Seth Ryan. I think that's interesting. Now, is there enough there where like, oh yeah, he's already proven that he is? No. But if your argument is, well, he was under Ben Johnson, who's one of the best offensive minds in the game now, and he played a large role in creating some of their trick and gadget plays that they use, then you think that that's going to translate for him at this next level. Like, okay, I can get there. I am very bullish on Seth Ryan, so I am closer to agreeing with that one than any of the other ones that we've gotten so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's. I would call him our best. Like if you looked, not just in our team, but in the NFL. Like if you looked and made a list of 50 prospects for coaches, like a coaching prospect list, he's somewhere in there. Like he's this ranked prospect, right? And that what prospect means is you don't know for sure he's going to be good, but he's definitely a prospect. There's definitely intrigue. There's definitely promise. Now, nobody get too excited about him because the odds are that if he does climb the ladder and become a head coach, it's 1 in 32 he becomes our coach, because it's not like many guys climb the ladder in the coaching staff and become the head coach. That's not how it works. Like he's going to get to some level, catch somebody's attention, and he's going to get stolen away for a promotion. Like one day someone's going to take him to be their offensive coordinator if we do well, right? So, maybe he'll come back to us, but I'm saying 1 in 32. So, but, that being said, I think he would definitely be listed as an NFL prospect coach. Like if you made a prospect list of coaches, future coaches.
I like it. Okay. We're okay, guys. We should not be in the dumps. We should not be mid. We should all be full bore, because this season we're getting the Seattle Geno Smith.
Can that happen? There's a world where it happens, yes. Just based on what we saw last year, and I get it. The situation in Vegas was really bad. Like we can say that, and I'll admit that. But Geno's 36 now, and he's 2 years removed from that play now at this point. I think he can get back to, I'll call it like, I don't know, 70% of what he was in Seattle. And if he does that for the Jets, that's probably the 20th best quarterback in the league, probably throwing for, I don't know, we'll call it 3,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks, completion percentage around 67%. I would sign up for that in a second. I just don't know. Like I'm looking at 4,200 and 4,300 yard seasons and 30 touchdowns. It's very hard for me to believe that a now 36-year-old Geno Smith, or soon to be 36-year-old Geno Smith, is going to be able to replicate that here.
Chaos.
If I was going to give out numbers, and maybe I will, maybe I'll end up doing this and I'll put it out in the future. If I was going to predict Geno's numbers, and this is an optimistic prediction, I want to say this would be high end, like me being optimistic and hopeful. If I would take to get his numbers. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take his last 5 years, his last 5 seasons, all of them, including the Oakland one and the last 4 in Seattle. And I'm going to tally them up and divide them by 5. And I'm going to do an average. And I'm going to project that his numbers for the Jets will be an average of his last 5 years. And which really means it's going to be somewhere in between what he did last year with the Raiders, obviously, and his best year in Seattle, or his good year in Seattle a couple of years ago. And that's where I think the numbers will go. And a lot of it will be not because I understand he's 36, going into 37 years old. He's older. I'm going to say it based on, I think honestly, and people might think I'm nuts to say this, the Jets might be giving him the best supporting cast he's had in a really long time, or maybe ever. Possibly, based on how good these rookies are and how things unfold.
I like it. Both very salient points. Let's stay in that room a little bit, or allegedly in that room. Doesn't matter how Gino does. You know why? Because next year we're set up to have Baker Mayfield lead this team, baby.
Ooh, I don't buy that one at all. And I like Baker. This isn't necessarily like a Baker take. I just don't think the Jets are going to, or made the trades that they did to get all the draft capital that they did, and are going to turn around at the end of it and go, you know what, we're going to try to find another quarterback who'll be 31 next year, and he's going to be our answer. I like Baker. I think he ends up figuring things out in Tampa Bay and ends up staying there. I know the contract negotiations haven't been going great for him, but I don't think Darren Muji makes those trades and trades away Sauce Gardner and trades away Quinnen Williams to not take a swing at the quarterback through the NFL draft. I think it's going to be a draft pick.
What say you, Chaos?
Do
Do I need a reality? Do I need a reality check?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking. I forgot now. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, let me buy you let me buy you 1 minute. Do they have anyone behind Baker? Like anyone of?
Okay, I got in my mind. I got off track when I started with Baker, and then I started daydreaming about Kate Klubnik and thinking about my take on Kate Klubnik. I think Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's right for our situation. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but I mean, he's probably going to cost like $50 million, and is he the guy though? Or do we take the shot in the draft? We have there's such a strong draft. You take the shot at getting the young guy next year, where I feel there's already 4 to 5 guys I'm really interested in already. There's like a handful of quarterbacks I'm very interested in that are coming out of college next year, and I can't pass on the idea of getting a quarterback and having a bargain quarterback for 4 years and then an extension and that whole thing. And I just would love to have a bargain quarterback, like a quarterback that doesn't cost $50 million, but costs $15 million for 4 years. Like, I just like that better. And I kind of want to take a shot at that. So I'm not a big sign Baker Mayfield guy because of the money and how much it would cost. But at the end of the day, I don't think it would be the most terrible thing because he's not old. And I think he's really good and really solid. I just think that it's a lot of money.
If there's a Jets fan that's banking on that, though, what would you give the likelihood of that coming to fruition, real quick?
5%.
I was going to say like 5% or less was going to be my answer.
That sounds legit. I agree as well. You know what? Chaos, you kind of teased it, so I'm going to start this one with you. The Jets just got extra first-round picks next year. I don't know if you know that, because they no longer have to spend one on a quarterback. They have Cade Klubnik, baby.
Look, that's a dream, and it's not impossible. I hate it when people use such strong words. Like, I understand when people say, if I sat there and said Cade Klubnik's going to be the guy and we don't need to draft a quarterback, I understand the anger, right? If I said it like that. But I also don't understand when people say it can't happen. Because I promise you, nobody thought nobody knew about Brock Purdy. If I would have told you Brock Purdy is going to be the 49ers starting quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years when they drafted him as the bubble pick, you would have said I was smoking crack. And Tom Brady, the greatest example of all, when he was picked in the 6th round by the New England Patriots, nobody, and I mean nobody, except maybe the guy on their personnel department that yelled and screamed they should draft him, thought that he had any chance to be what he was. So what I'm saying is, no one is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Dak Prescott Come on. Nobody saw that coming. Right? I mean, like, I don't remember any Jet fans at that time screaming we should draft Dak Prescott, right? And I'm not saying he's a Super Bowl champion or he's amazing or anything like that, but he's damn better than any quarterback we've had in a long time that we've ever drafted. So I just will say I don't think it's impossible, but we can't count on it. No, absolutely. In no way do you count on it. You pray for it. You hope that lightning strikes and we get a miracle, because that's all that is. That's what that would be. It would be finally something or some greater power decided to finally throw some love our way. We're going to get, and it would be an amazing thing to have happen. It would be an amazing thing. If it magically happened, it would be, oh my God, can you imagine what that would be like?
Over or under 5%, Jeremy, in the next 9 months that happening.
I think it's okay. So there's only a 4 to 5% chance that he would even be a starting quarterback in the NFL, right? Statistically. And I did the numbers myself, physically went through the last 25 years. Every quarterback drafted, how many became starting quarterbacks and were good. And I literally came out to like 4-point-something%. But you have to factor in, there's a chance that Gino's going to play every week. And we're not going to get to see, even if Cade Klubnik hit that 4% and was that guy, we're not going to know that. There's a good chance we're not going to know. What are the odds we're going to find that out, right, in his first year? So I would say it's very unlikely. It could be, 1%?
Yeah. So more likely Baker is the quarterback next year than Club, it sounds like. Matt, what say you?
I don't like how you spun it that way. You're not wrong, right, with the math that we're using, because like Jeremy, I have also done videos and done exercises where I went through and looked at quarterbacks not taken in the first round and the chances of them being your guy. I can't in good faith come up here and say that there's no shot that he is. What I can say is it's very unlikely. It's a long shot that he is. It would be the best case scenario for the Jets, though, because as you just laid out, you wouldn't have to use one of your first round picks, and you would have 3 first rounders in a strong draft class that's not just strong at quarterback, it's strong across the board to continue to add to your roster. And you'd have a cheap quarterback for 4 years. Like that's the dream right there. But I don't think we can go into this season as fans and be banking on that being the most likely outcome.
I am with you. I might even shake someone saying that. I'm just full disclosure. It's like peeking at your presents before Christmas. Just wait until Christmas and open it then. But I digress. Okay. I don't care about these defensive additions this offseason. I don't care about a famous D-line coach. The Jets defense will right the ship because Aaron Glenn is a great defensive coordinator.
Oh. Okay. So I'm gonna have to hop off after this one because I gotta still do my lesson plan for my summer class tomorrow. But I'm leaving on a good note. I'm gonna say that Aaron Glenn, if the Jets defense improves, Aaron Glenn will be a part of the solution, but not the only solution. I think you're discrediting the roster additions and the additions of a Carl Dunbar that way. I think Glenn would deserve a lot of credit. Like if this defense goes from, what were they last year, 31 all the way up to like 12, I think Aaron Glenn deserves a lot of credit for that. But I think it's really unfair to say it doesn't matter that they completely revamped, the entirety of that defense at every level. They brought in guys on the defensive line, in the linebacker room, in the secondary. And yeah, they brought in a really historically good defensive line coach. That doesn't matter. It's all on Aaron Glenn. I don't think that's fair. I think he's a part of the solution, but not the only reason for it.
Is he a great defensive coordinator, real quick?
I don't know if I could say great. I think he showed that he is a solid to good defensive coordinator. I think especially in his last year. And people are going to look at some of just like the more basic, like the points allowed and yards allowed, and maybe it's not as eye popping. And I don't think he is I don't think schematics is his strength. I think he got what made him enticing and what made him a good defensive coordinator to me was that after injury, he kept getting a lot out of that defense. And I think like I said, I don't think he's a great defensive coordinator because he's some schematic genius. I just think he's able to get a lot out of his guys.
Personnel. Yeah. Okay, Matt, dude, appreciate it. Sunday night, man. Popping our cherry, so to speak. Thank you. Why don't you tell the folks? I kind of already told them, but just real quick, when you're going to be with this guy or whatever else you want to plug, man.
Yeah, first of all, it's always a blast coming on, hanging out with Dano and JetsChaos. I love hopping in here whenever I can, and I'll be on Wednesday at 3:00. We'll have our first practice in the book. So Jeremy and I will be reacting to training camp day 1 on Wednesday. And we made it, guys. We finally made it through this long off season. So I'm pumped up for training camp.
Love it. Love it. Chaos, anything to add? We'll get Matt out of here.
I'm just looking forward to Wednesday, and hopefully there'll be only good news. We'll only be hearing some good things, and knock on wood, because it's the scariest time of year for me.
Stay healthy, right? All right, Matt. Good luck with that lesson plan, brother. Catch you later.
All right. Thanks, fellas. I'll catch you later.
Later, Matt.
Oh, busy man. What a nice guy to pop in and respond to some of these. Chaos, I do have a couple more. Can you hit them alone? Or
I think I can handle it. If not, we can bring Sean McAteer in here. He's got an interesting beard also.
Facts.
Sean McAteer, defender of the world. Boogie.
Well,
Boogie got it. Boogie.
You know what? That's a good point. There's a couple things that happen down there I have to hit first, and then we'll get right back into it. Not that I have to. I want to. First off, Chili plays? I don't know. What do you?
I think it's just Chili plays.
Maybe it's Chicago Lee plays. I don't know.
Or chill. No. It's Chili plays.
Yeah.
Maybe
Chili plays.
Maybe 2 E's because it was already taken with 1 A.
Could be. Hey, becoming a member in the DZ. Appreciate you, brother. I don't know if you have an answer for this one. I think Matt, might have. I don't know, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway, because membership milestone chat from eBoogie, 8 months. Can't quite make a human in that amount of time, eBoogie, but you can try. He asks, any UDFA on the Jets you guys like/hope make the team?
There were none this year that got me super excited, to be honest. There were none. Oh, well, there's the safety. What the hell's his name? There was one as a safety that Tom C seems to like a little bit. I'm forgetting his name. Shoot. There's some something with a V. I think there was some safety who I think was probably like the only one that I've heard anything about that stood out at all.
You're not talking VJ Payne though, right?
Oh, is he not on a UDFA?
I think he was like a 7th. I mean, don't quote me, but I think he was a 7th rounder. But that's pretty damn close, man. I will count that. The only one I can even think of at this moment is that long snapper.
That was the one that got people mad, man. There was a lot of people. Tigo was pissed. He was like, "What is going on? What do these guys think they're doing? We have a long
the audacity, right? I know, but I heard he's good. We'll see. I need the list in front of me, and I think I deleted it a while back because it was
you're playing with fire, because he does one bad snap and MetLife will be torn down.
Yeah. Maybe you can PS him. I don't know if it's worth it, but damn, I wish I hit this one sooner from Dom C. And if he's still here, maybe he can answer UDFA stuff. But he wanted to know, and I missed it. He says, I know camp hasn't officially begun. There's a lot of time left. But who's your hot take player that will make the final 53? Do you have one?
Hot take player that makes the final 53. I haven't really thought
I
of it
can,
from that perspective.
let's see. I can give you a list.
I'm trying to think of one that would be a hot take. You know what I mean? That's my challenge with that. Yeah. Trying to think of one that would be. I'll pick one that I think. Okay, so I don't know if it's a hot take. So you'll tell me if it's a good enough hot take. I think Arian Smith is going to make the roster, and I know a lot of people are starting to think that he's not going to. So I think he will. You know,
I think it's moderate take. I don't think it's blazing. It's hot though. I mean, I don't know. It's year 2. It's tough, man, whether it's really hot, but I will take it since you're put on the spot. You know what I mean? I'm also put on the spot and I'm grasping here. Let's see. Defense, I really think it would Tyler Barron be hot, man. It's tough because like when it's a year 2 guy, it's like, do they just lean on upside, or not even upside with him, but like just that it's so early in their tenure? I don't know. Let me look at offense because I did have one here. Would it? I don't know. Do you think keeping the fullback is a hot take?
Yeah, maybe. I given that Kine is going to definitely make the team for special teams, and then you got Davis and Allen. I think it is a hot take to say there's going to be a 5th guy. Because I even think that the sniffer from last year is in huge trouble. I think he's in big trouble because I think that Jeremy Rucker now being demoted to like a tight end 3 to make him more useful to the roster could be the sniffer because he could be lined up as a fullback. So I think to say that anybody's going to make it as a fullback is a hot take because you got Jeremy Rucker and you got Sadiq, who was lined up as a fullback at Oregon. We saw you and me know more than anyone. They use Sadiq for everything. So I would call that a hot take.
Okay, fair. Sean says Jamal Pritchett for him. That's hot. That is.
Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
How about this? Is this hot from E Boogie? Cisco.
It's not. I don't think it's hot only because I think it would be hot on most other teams, but there's some hard on that this organization has for this guy, right? And I don't get it. I think he was terrible last year, and he was. Look, we were excited about him. He had a bunch of turnovers in Jacksonville, but his last year, people don't know, his last year was his worst at Jacksonville. Their defense fell apart, and he was part of that collapse. And then he came here, and he sucked from day one. Remember that first game or whatever where he got burned? And we were saying, oh, shit, that was Cisco's. That Cisco messed up on that. Like, he got caught. So, and then he was just bad. So, to me, I call it a hot take if I was running the team, because he would be on my shit list to make this team. But it's hard to call it a hot take only because it feels like they freaking love him and they gave him all this guaranteed money. Not tons, but they paid him like $1.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, fair. Tony said special team ace Smith, you mean? Yeah, that, you know what? That will be his claim to the roster, I think. So we'll see. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for his gunner abilities, I don't think he even would make the roster.
He might come in on trip. He might, yeah. I mean, but because he's there, he might sneak in there on certain plays where they line up. They might send him deep. So I mean, he is a problem when you put him out there. When you put him out there, if you've done any scouting, if you're the defensive coordinator of the other team, you literally have to keep a guy back. He's a jet. And I'm not, pardon the pun, he is super fast, man. He's nasty fast. Like, so you do have to keep a guy back. He's a problem, and there is an argument that it's not that I'm saying it's a very good chance he's going to be this impact player, but there is an argument that there were plays where he was open and he just didn't have a quarterback that could throw the ball to him. That, you know, we had a big problem with quarterbacks that held the ball. You know, we had a quarterback who stood there like a statue and would not throw the ball, and then we had a quarterback that can only throw the ball within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, which didn't really serve Arian Smith very well. So let's be like, I don't think, I think the door is closed a lot, but I don't think it completely shut on him.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. So let's segue back to a few of these positivity proclamations, we'll call them PPs for short. So, Chaos, I'm a fan, a random fan. Okay. If you need to shake some sense into me, gloves off, man. Punch me in the face, shake me, whatever you got to do. Here is one.
Okay.
The Jets are complete at wide receiver. AD Mitchell is going to blow the doors off of the league this year. We are set between him and Garrett and Omar.
Okay, so I'm going to shake reality of saying we could be much better than people are giving us credit for. But it's also a big question mark, right? Okay, so AD Mitchell, I'm probably in the top tier of 5% of Jet fans as a supporter. And I've had been from the beginning because I loved him coming out of college as a prospect. Loved. And I would have defended him the most, as much as anyone. Passionately defended that he didn't get a chance with the Colts. That he and I know it didn't look good. It's not a good look that he didn't, you know, they didn't feel like we have to get this guy in the field kind of thing. But he came to the Jets and he had a terrible first game that he started, right? And he had these drops. And you know our fan base, once you have some drops, it's so hard to pry that bad first impression away from our fan base. But if you look at his performance after that, in the few games before we went to Brady Cook, an undrafted free agent quarterback that nobody wanted, right, who couldn't do anything. If you look at him, if you look at AD Mitchell, when there was anything, any competency in our quarterback room after that first game, he actually started to do okay. And the film, if you watch the film, he's open. He creates space. He's a good route runner. He gets open, and he doesn't have a history of drop problems. He really doesn't. Right? He just had that bad game with us, but I'm not saying he's one of the elite in not having drops, but he's not. It never was a real serious issue with him. So there's a chance that AD Mitchell could be a very good football player. Omar Cooper, I like him. I think he could be a possession receiver. It reminds me of a guy from the 80s that Miami had that used to kill us. His name was Nat Moore. He was like a third down, get the first down machine. Okay, I think Cooper could be that. I think even better than that more. I think he could be a guy that just gets us the first down. Clutch touchdowns inside the red zone. I really like him, but he's a rookie. So I can't sit there and say that we're set in any way. And then when you look at beyond those three, so you have Garrett Wilson's your only solid guy. Everybody else has questions because Omar's a rookie. AD Mitchell I love, but he hasn't proved it. He has to do it on the field. Right. And then who's that after him? Arian Smith. I'm saying, like, I hope, but he's just a deep threat. Right. And then we're talking about guys like Pritchard, and we're talking about a veteran guy, right? Palmer, whatever his name. I mean, it's not a complete room. Right. But it could prove to be a very good room because it might be really top heavy. Omar Cooper, if he comes out and breaks out and shows that he was the best, you know, we've seen the third or fourth wide receiver picked in a draft be the best wide receiver in their class. So you don't know that he's not going to break out and be really good. And then you might have AD Mitchell be really good. And we might have a great 1, 2, 3. You know, but complete room, I'm gonna put thumbs down to that.
I like it. Dishing reality checks here on a Sunday night. Got just maybe 2 more. The Jets are going to win 9+, and this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Green Bean Island That thing is just going to grow and grow the next 5 months. Y'all ain't ready for this.
I want to believe it. I want to believe it.
Well,
I
what
mean,
do you say to someone who does? That's the question.
there are moments where I do. I support them for having faith and believing. I think the biggest doubt, and Jake Asman said this, and he's right. I mean, not that I believe he's automatically a bad coach. I'm not on that boat with Jake Asman. I think it's unproven and unanswered. But I think the biggest problem with the Jets, even bigger than the Geno Smith question mark, even bigger than we have a lot of young unknown question marks, bigger than all of it, is Aaron Glenn. Because, and I think Jake said it really well. If our coach was Jim Harbaugh, I think a lot of fans would be saying 9 wins. Right? But that doesn't mean that Aaron Glenn can't win 9 games. It means that he doesn't have any kind of resume that shows any reason why we would believe that. So I think he's the biggest question mark on our team that's preventing me from saying I really believe we could win 9 games. But there are moments where I do. And I'm hopeful that we will, and I will never ridicule anyone who says it.
I like that. Here's one for you.
I'm on Green Bean Island. Like I said it, and I'm gonna stick to it. I can't. And I'm back. I'm saying it with complete emotion, and just some feeling and gut, against all logic. I'm saying that we're going to win 9 or 10 games and make the playoffs. I think we're gonna have a miracle year. I do.
Listen here, Jet fans.
And I think on Sundays we're gonna be so happy, Dano. We're gonna be competing with everyone because everyone's gonna want in and be on Sunday nights, reacting and doing all their shit. And I don't care. Our faithful will watch us and support us. And I think that we're gonna be laughing and palling around on Sunday nights, amazed at the wins we're getting. And I hate when people say, look at our schedule and find me the win. It's such nonsense. It's the NFL. It's like the wins are just, I don't know. Maybe it'll be we beat Green Bay. Maybe it'll be we beat Detroit. I don't know. We're just going to win games.
Play them tough, man. I think that's not I don't know. For some people, it's the bar for how they need this year to go. For me, it's, compete, play good game. Dude, we sat together last December, man. I just don't want that. I think that was, I want to sit, I watched games with you or whatever, or react to them later. What I'm saying is that performance level has to go away. It does. Just bring the bottom up, and we can work on the ceiling as we go. It's going to take time. We're not going to be good in September or great, but bring the floor up and then work on the ceiling. Maybe it's you do one in the first half of the year and you do the other in the second half. But yeah, dude, do I think that if I put odds on 9+ wins on this date, I think I would put it at 20%, which isn't it. It's not low. Yeah.
That's not horrible at all.
And there's little steps along the way that, that's 2% more. Oh, that's 3 more. That's 5. Oh, Geno's looking great. He's gelling. That's 8%. It can build, but right now it can also delete too. But right now, 20 is about where I'm at. So I've packed the sunblock, but I have not.
I think that's generous. I do.
Fair. There's just so much on this team that's lumps of clay, and you have no idea what you're getting out of them. There's a lot of upside, though, amongst those lumps of clay.
So much excitement, so much upside, so much unknown. I think you and
coaching staff.
I think you and me, as much as any Jeff fan, though, we have a little bit of inside. I think. I really think when you watch every week and you're a fan of them, and they're your most local team that's on national TV, we watch the Deke, man. We know.
That's the final one. The Jets will make the playoffs because any given Sunday, they have the best player on the field, a matchup nightmare Kenyon Sadiq.
The best hope we have, what I would love in taking a second if you told me he was going to have like a parallel season, identical or incredibly similar to Loveland last year that had for the Bears. I would take that deal in a second, because I think the way Loveland ended that season for the Bears in those last few games showed that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the upcoming years. The Bears have themselves a weapon. That guy, once they started finally wised up and started to use him, is a nightmare. And do you know what I love about Sadiq? He's a nightmare. A nightmare. Not in the same way like Bowers is a nightmare. Bowers was a nightmare because of just this speed and athleticism combined with the size, right? But I mean, we use the same words, but it's a different thing. But to me, Sadiq is more this big, fast, long with arm, with like just crazy, just jump up like a basketball player and get like an Antonio Gates. That's my player comp for him if he's a star. I mean, my dream comp. Because no
Or
one,
like
you never predict someone's going to be Antonio Gates, but or what Gonzalez.
Vernon Davis, maybe.
Fine.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah, just a guy who can outrun fast, but also in a tangle, jump up and just pull the football down in a pile, just pull up the football. But also, just you're gonna have him running across the field and just make an extended catch and just knock someone over and barrel down for 30 yards, down the sideline, that like stuff like that. We watched it. I mean, the guy is a freak. Who are you gonna cut? Only the best coverage linebackers have a chance, right? Only the best, maybe one or two safeties. But for the most part, who do you put on them?
I don't know, man, because like I've seen content today that say, "Oh well, dude, our little D'Angelo Pons locked him down," and it's like, well, that's a little unfair. I think that whole Hoosier defense kind of did, but also I like that Sadiq will go against Pons a healthy amount this summer, so maybe he'll figure that out. But also, yeah, dude, the Hoosiers were keying in on him to stop him. For sure.
You're gonna hate that I say this, but I think the Indiana defense shut down Dante Moore.
No, I don't hate you for no, man, not at all. I watched those games, man. It was hard not to agree with you there. And Ohio State shut them down. The year before? Lanning has to figure that out, man. He does. I do. Yeah. I like his odds this year, but you got to see it.
I mean, what's beautiful this year that you have to remember is that Sadiq is going to have Garrett Wilson on one side. The other side is going to be either Cooper or A.D. Mitchell. And sometimes when you have 12 personnel, you're going to have Mason Taylor slipping out, right? You got Breece Hall that they have to watch. So when he was playing in Oregon, who did Indiana key as far as receivers when they played Oregon?
I mean, they were so nicked up at wide receiver. There was not much else. Just regular guys.
Their game plan was stop Sadiq.
Malik Benson, but I mean that guy was drafted on day 3. We're talking different tier. And Boss Girl says Pons will only make Sadiq better, and vice versa. It sounds to me like she's saying iron sharpens iron.
Yes, it is the iron sharpening iron kind of thing, and Brownlee doesn't hurt either. He's pretty good himself. But I do think that you have to really consider that in those games that there's no question that if you could go into the locker room, the defensive coordinator for those colleges against Oregon, they had plans to stop Sadiq. They're not good they might one day because he's so good. He might break out as a star. But for right now, no one that we play this year is designing plays to stop Sadiq. You know what I mean? They got Garrett. They got this. They're trying to figure out who they're gonna have to worry about. They're gonna start the season saying Garrett Wilson is the guy we know, and Breece Hall. Those are the weapons they're looking at. Opposing defenses. Now that might change.
trap
That
game.
might change as the season gets going. That might change. But those are the guys they're looking at. They're not looking at Sadiq.
Yep. No, you're right. And we could be a trap game if some of these other guys, like even if it's not him, but like if Omar steps up or if Sadiq steps up or Mason or, like I don't even care. It doesn't have to be the same guy every week. Just one of you guys needs to be the third fiddle week to week. And if you got three, it's really hard to stop three guys, even if they're not they're not Justin Jefferson. If they're Garrett Wilson and he's got two other things, in his corner, that's going to help him a lot. So yeah, I don't know that he is going to be the best player on the field. But what I will say is if you use him, like I would only be running routes with him early on until he's really adjusted. Just route, man, because he's going to make the defense think, whether the staff does schematically throughout the week or on game day when the linebackers are staring him down or a safety is, and it's like, holy shit, this guy is huge. He's a horse. Like,
well, I mean, you got to think Geno Smith, a veteran quarterback, is the perfect quarterback for this exact situation we're in right now, right? At the moment, he's a great quarterback in this moment of building because he's going to be a kid in a candy store. I mean, look what he's going to have. Look what it could be. I have a good offensive line. I have Sadiq and Mason Taylor. Right? Sadiq could be the slot, but then Mason Taylor might sneak out and be wide open. And all you got to do is throw it near him. He's a vacuum. Just throw it near him, and he's catching it. Then you got Garrett Wilson doing all crazy and running great routes. And then and on top of it all, now you can have Cooper, who's very reliable, but also A.D. Mitchell is a freak. The film shows it. He's not easy to cover. And he's a big target that you can see downfield. I'm telling you, you're right. I don't think it's going to be consistent 1 week. We're not going to be a one-story team where it's like it looks the same every week. I think if it works really well, you're going to see 1 week where you're going, oh, Sadiq's going to be a superstar. 8 receptions, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, my God, Sadiq. And then the next week, Sadiq's going to get 2 receptions, but Mason Taylor's going to get 6 with 80 yards and a touchdown. And then the next week, A.D. Mitchell's going to get 2 touchdowns and 150 yards, and Garrett's only going to get 40. But then the next week, Garrett Wilson's going to be Garrett Wilson and get 140. Like, this is the kind of thing we might see. You're right. Because these guys all have that potential.
Yep, I'm with you. Can we hit some rapid fire chat highlights, and then I'll get you. We'll both get out of here. Chaos. What do you think of that?
Sure.
Okay. Scott Foster chimed in earlier, and he said, "Side note: the Packers drafted our current center over Creed."
Yeah, look, silliness. We love Creed. I wanted to draft him even though we had traded up for AVT. I still wanted him with that second pick instead of Elijah Moore, that second round pick. I still wanted Creed. I called into the Jets, into the panel. I was going to bring that up to Matt O'Leary before. That I called in, and because Ryan actually asked me, Ryan said, Chaos, who do you want? Like, who do you want them to take in the second round? And I said Creed. And he goes, ooh, double dip on the offensive line. I said, not because it's the offensive line, not because of position, because he was the best player available. He was the best player available from probably pick 22. In my mind, I was already screaming his name. He was the guy already for me.
And sorry if I forget, you probably already said it or Matt did, but who did we take?
Elijah Moore.
Oh, that year. Fuck. Why did I ask? I don't want to think of that guy. Okay. Dude, it would have changed things dramatically. All right. Harry chimed in when Matt froze, and he said, freeze bean. I like it. I see you, Harry. That's a good one. I wish I got to it live. All right. And again, these can be rapid fire, Chaos. Kel chimes in. If the OC and DC is bad, how can you blame everything on the players for last year?
You don't. But
this might have been when I mentioned Tyler Barron. Just a heads up.
Well, I mean, no, Tyler, he was terrible because that you could just watch the film. He was getting blown off the line of scrimmage. I'm not saying he can't develop, but he wasn't strong enough. and he didn't have the technique. He was getting out positions. They were throwing him around like a rag doll. Cisco, that wasn't defensive. You could sit there and say he didn't have a good defensive coordinator, but you physically watched him get fooled. That's not the defensive coordinator's fault. Like, he bit and didn't fill his post. He was the safety, and he bit inside. And we watched him get killed against the Steelers. We watched it. He was getting outrun. He was just could not cover. He was bad. I mean, sometimes you could see it with your eyes, and that's why. But I'll make that. But I'll make the argument, because he said this, I think, when we were talking about like Arian Smith. Arian Smith, on the other hand, was open. You could see it on the film. He was open. So how could we sit there and say he was bad? If he was on with a quarterback who could throw the ball to an open player, maybe it's a totally different story.
It sounds like the same story, and not to rebuttal too much, it sounds like it's the same story with A.D. Mitchell, right? Are you extending the same courtesy to Arian Smith that you would A.D. Mitchell, who they both can create separation, but they just did not capitalize last year? Same thing?
I'd be a hypocrite not to. Now, if one of them, the film, they weren't, you can watch the film. There's all 22. If one of them wasn't open, so even if the quarterback was throwing the ball, we had a competent quarterback. If you could see on the film, they're not very good route runner. It's real kind of shadowed the whole time. Somebody was real right on him. Didn't look like he was really, didn't have any burst or change in acceleration, on routes, like all of that stuff. If they didn't have that, but forget me watching the film. Joe Blewett showed it. Joe Blewett showed it, guys. If you want the breakdown, he did it for A.D. Mitchell and for Arian Smith, and he showed it. He wasn't saying these guys are superstars, but he was showing that they're competent players. They were getting open. They were doing their job. The football never came to them.
That's step one, right? Beating the corner. And it sounds like they both can at times.
It felt like it was enough that it could be something, that they could be like real, but they just didn't get the chance. Now, all players are going to get open and not always get the football, but we saw what happened. The level of incompetence on our quarterback play cannot be overstated.
I am with you, even if my mouse sometimes takes a minute to get to the unmute. But yeah, I mean, we don't even need these guys to be godlike. We just need them to stretch the safeties. Do that, and we are cool. Let's keep it moving. Boss Girl, would anyone be a little sad, if our wide receiver core were top 3 in the NFL? Because then we may not draft Jeremiah Smith if we can. Would that be bittersweet for you, Jeremy?
I don't know that we wouldn't. I don't know that for a fact, because Mooj he might be. There are certain guys who you can't, like, you just don't. If we were in a position to take them, because we didn't need a quarterback, or we already got our quarterback because we had 2 top picks or whatever it was, if we were in a position to take them, even if we were really good at wide receiver, I don't know that we wouldn't take them. I don't know. I've seen teams do it. The Bengals did it. They stacked. I've seen teams do it. I've seen teams stack because it's the best player available, and it still makes you a better football team, because now you have Jeremiah Smith, Garrett Wilson, and then you have Cooper and A.D. Mitchell coming in when you do 3 wide, like all kinds of crazy, like it just becomes this crazy package. It just becomes this crazy thing. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they would. I'm not saying I would, because it depends who else is on the board. But what if there's clearly no one at that level on the board? I don't think that's going to be the case, because next year's draft is going to be a powerhouse draft. So I think there's going to be a couple of players on the board that you can argue, if we're set at wide receiver, we should take one of those other players. Like, I think that argument will be, of course, there, especially edge, because edge is the true position that you could never have enough of. You can always take another edge if they're special. Always. It's the one that, I don't care how good you are at that position, you could always take another edge, especially if they're, if you believe that they're going to be 15 to 20 sacks or whatever, like that kind of guy. You don't even think about it. I don't care who you have. You take them.
Chubb for Club says the same thing. There is no universe you pass on Jeremiah Smith unless it's a top tier quarterback. I like the wording on that. No universe. Good verbiage for the danger zone. I will say, Chubb for Club, good to have you. But top 3 in the NFL, I don't even know what that would look like. As far as wide receiver cores, like how good these guys have to play. But what I will say, just a minor footnote, AD Mitchell is here for $1.5 million this year. Next year, 2027, 1.80 guaranteed. So we have time for that to sort out. Why not get his successor? Let's go ham on the wide receiver room.
Do you know why they wouldn't be top 3? And I'm not trying to be a negative Nilly.
Why?
They're not going to be top 3 because with everything we're talking about, these weapons, it's still Frank Reich. It's still an offensive line that's better at run blocking. And this is going to be a team that tries to define itself as a running team. We're not going to be airing it out. And I don't know that Geno Smith is the quarterback that could make a receiving corps number 3 in the NFL. So even if talent-wise we are, I don't think we would know it, and I don't think it would show up in the numbers.
I agree. I mean, unless they get Klubnik in there, then all bets are off. All right, moving right along. Robert C. chiming in. Is linebacker the Jets' weakest position?
It's the least depth. Like, it's the most dangerous position. I can make a Dom C argument that it's not our weakest position because there's not gonna be many times where we need more than 2 linebackers on the field. Right? Like inside linebackers. So it's like it's gonna be like depending on how they play, if they play a 3-4, and then how often are they in base versus how often are they playing in nickel? If they're playing in nickel a lot, which I think they might be, like a lot of nickel because they got Brownlee and because they got Pons and because because we have a coach that wants to get back to being a secondary, powered defense. I think it's a depth thing. I think it's weak in depth because because we have a guy who's 37 who's not going to be around long term. Who also you got to worry about what if he gets injured, and we have Sherwood who's got to prove himself that he can bounce back. He wasn't as terrible as people are saying. Again, we're embellishing how bad he was. He wasn't that bad. He just wasn't a good number 1 linebacker. He could be a fine number 2 linebacker next to Demario Davis. So if they stayed healthy, my answer is no, it's not the weakest position. But we have no depth at that position. We have no depth. So if Demario Davis gets hurt, it's our weakest position. So
maybe it's the weakest. Would you say it's the weakest room? Yeah.
I could say it's the weakest room. I mean, again, you could always argue the safety room. Even with Fitzpatrick, I could still argue that's the weakest room. Any room where you have Cisco, we're talking about Cisco being on the roster, and we're talking about a guy who was a rookie last year, and we're hoping he gets better, and because he had some flashes, but was also very bad at times. When these are the guys you're talking about, and you're excited about a guy that came from the Giants because he started games, not that he was that good. I mean, that's a pretty weak room in itself as well.
I got you. I got 2 more good ones. If you have time for 2, Jeremy, I know your phone's buzzing. If you need,
no, I'm good.
If you need to go, you're all right. I don't mind though. I'm just saying, there are some goodies here. I always like the opportunity to speak about Breece Hall, but I'm going to let you. Billy chimes in. He says, we need to consider Breece has a career reception percentage of over 75%, Jeremy. That puts him in the same tier as CMC and Alvin Kamara, which is elite level receiving back. Would you agree?
If they utilize him right. Look, me and O'Leary bitch about it all the time. 2 years ago, they had Breece Hall run to the outside, and they had him run a go route, and he burned the linebacker, and it was an easy touchdown. And they went back to it one more time. Once. Ever. And when it didn't work that time, it was over forever. Why?
Dink and dunk. Dink and dunk after that.
So I say we don't know. I say there's a chance that we have totally neglected and totally have ignored an incredible opportunity. Because every time when you line up Breece Hall, when he just runs out to the boundary, they put a linebacker on him. I take that matchup all day. All day, give me that. I think they didn't do it a lot last year because they didn't have the quarterback to do it. And they needed Breece. They couldn't have the running back be out of the backfield because the guy was already waiting too long. He needed all the protection he could get. So that's why I think, but if we get some smart coaching that believes in looking for weaknesses and matchup advantages, I know that I'm coming in there. What's the point of paying Breece Hall and having him? And he has that skill and that ability. And mind you, Braylon Allen has it also. And some people argue that Davis have it. And not do it sometimes and challenge the defense to figure out what they're going to do and how they're going to cover it.
Agreed. The only thing I would add, I want to give Billy a little pushback here. I would not, that first sentence I have a problem with. Okay. I don't care about career reception percentage, and I don't put him into CMC territory because of it. That has nothing to do with any of it. I do think he's skilled. I like what Chaos said, putting him in more difficult running back routes. But too often it's 3rd and 20 and we throw a 6 or 7 yard pass to him right down the middle. I don't even want to see the down the middle stuff with him. I want him outside the hashes, catching it on a run, not the comebacks right in front of the center.
No.
And we do that way too often.
We want to break him into space.
Yes. And with a head of steam, man, I could catch ones over the center for 75%. I mean, I don't know what'll happen after that. But.
By the way, I keep leaving him out, and I didn't talk about him all night, but in that wide receiver room, I do like the kid that returns punts and kickoffs for us.
Isaiah Williams.
I think Isaiah Williams was coming along and doing some things I liked. And I think he could be one of those stories. He could be. I'm not saying he will be. He could be one of those stories of those guys that come out of nowhere and every year gets a little bit better. And then suddenly he's this good, impactful wide receiver on the team.
Do you think that it's him or Pritchett, not both?
That's what's going to be so hard for Pritchard, I think.
Sorry, Sean.
Because I don't know. I mean, I think that Pritchard will be around practice squad. Anybody gets banged up or hurt, there he goes. He's got a roster spot. But I mean, this guy, Isaiah Williams is our returner. He was like the best in the NFL last year. We're not giving that up.
I agree. But it is roster gymnastics. And a lot of times it is that simple. It's like with Beck and Kene and Jelani Woods. Like, you can't give all of them guys, even if you think they all deserve a spot, you can't. It's just the way the math works.
Jelani Woods is practice squad. He's going to end up playing somewhere else.
Yeah. Even though he's a Reich, even though he was with Reich, that's not a big resurgence.
No, they're. I mean, like, we got 3 tight ends. It's untouchable unless one of our tight ends get hurt. Knock on wood, it doesn't before the season. He's practice squad. That's what he is.
I'm with you.
Unless he's amazing, unless he's unreal, and I don't know it on special teams.
Yeah. All right. JT has a solid one. I think it's probably going to be our last. Get us out of here on a good note. JT wants to know, do you think with our O-line and weapons, Geno can keep the turnovers down? I think we can get a 2010 or a 21-12 type of season.
I think there's absolutely the most realistic, like totally grounded comments that I've read tonight with all our crazy takes that we were reacting to in reality checks. I think that this is obviously we have this hope that he'll have a special season because of the weapons and it'll be a little better than normal and he'll go 24, 25 touchdowns with 8 or 9 interceptions, would be more ideal for that could be playoffs if we have a great running team and the defense, is much, much better. But this is very realistic and very grounded, and could be supported through data and and stats. There's no reason to believe this couldn't be the case. I'd be a little disappointed because it's just the average, right? And as a fan, I'm hopeful it could be more. As a fan, I'm hoping we'll have some magic and he'll actually get 24, 25 touchdowns. But this is very realistic.
Yeah, that's like what, 1.5 a game, maybe 1.25, assuming the running backs get a couple. That math tracks.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, because Brees is going to get some, and Braylon Allen or Davis combined are going to get some, and hopefully our special teams will get something,
Mm-hmm. End arounds, Sadiq will get probably 10 or 12 with the end arounds. Shit.
Gino might score some on the ground.
True. You know what? I would pencil him in for a couple there. I would. You know what, Jeremy? We still have 33 people in here. 33 crazy, insane folks watching us here on a Sunday night. Appreciate that, dude. We're gonna leave them wanting more tonight. How you feel about that, Chaos?
Wow. Takes a big man to walk away when he's got 33 watching him.
Around here, that's a high number, especially this late. I'll take it. But
fast forward 2 months. What is it going to look like in here then? Let's hope.
Dude, hopefully we get to 700. We are at 692. Jeremy, we were in low fives, I think, when we started this. It's been a long climb, but we're getting up there, so I like it. All right, guys. Training camp's here, right, Jeremy? Rookies are in the building. The rest will be coming tomorrow, right? Is there anything?
The rest show up, I believe, on Tuesday, and then the first practice is on Wednesday.
Okay, so still a little bit of time.
There might be guys. There's probably veterans there right now. I bet you Geno Smith is there. I bet you there's a bunch of guys that are already there, and there'll be plenty that get there tomorrow for sure.
I like it. A lot of, those guys are having a time. Nerves, Give them a few days. They'll get to click clacking. Guys, we'll see you next Sunday. We'll see you this Friday, but with me and Chaos, it'll be next Sunday as well. All right, Danger Zone out. Chaos, catch you later, man.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're going to get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans, I stand with my boy Green Bee. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team, the playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble.
Hey, yeah, I'm still here. A couple final thoughts. Not thoughts, really, more like notes. Subscribe to Matt O'Leary NY. Please do us that solid. He gets another subscriber tonight. He'll definitely be back. Also, check out Brooklyn Brothers Food Review if you haven't already for some hilarious JetsChaos content. Say that 3 times fast. Also, we need, I think, one more person. If everything breaks right and Peg and Artie is down for 2 entries, we need one more person for the DayngerZone first annual fantasy football league. $50 entry fee, blah, blah, blah. Go to my posts section on the channel. You'll be able to see the flyer there. Comment on it tonight if you want to be that final spot. And also, if you already put your hat in the ring, as some of you have a couple weeks back, if you've changed your mind, let me know. But all those people that said it a few weeks ago, plus the people we have in, we got 11. We need one more. So if you enjoy this show, this community, and you want to compete again, if you want to shut me up, then beat me. Also, someone you may want to beat in that league even more than me. I mean, besides Scott, besides Murph. How about beating Dom C? That can go on your fridge, man. So, again, go to my channel, hit the posts tab, find that first post there, or that most recent one, and let me know you want in. All right, I think that's about it for me. Jet football is on the horizon. Thanks for watching tonight, guys. Spike the like. I'm sure you already have. And if you're watching tomorrow, same thing applies. Check out that post. Even if someone already else wanted it, put your name down because we might have a couple people back out. You never know, man. So again, thank you. Happy Sunday. Happy work week. Danger.